Okay, you've purchased our new billet breather. This is the install. One thing that I am gonna stress the most out of this video is make sure you watch this video in its entirety from start to finish before you even start doing this. Because there's some things in here that you need to know before you start pulling this off. Not just watching it and stopping it as you go. So, all right, let's do this. All right, if you do have shop air, would highly recommend giving it a blow off, because if you've been in the sand or the dirt or whatever, there could be bits of that stuck around this breather. So give it a blow off, make sure it's as clean as possible before you start, particularly above it as well too, because you don't want that dragging into there. One thing I can't stress enough through this whole procedure is do not at any time place anything above it, anything above this hole that we're about to create, because once we pull this breather off, the engine is exposed. First part that we're gonna remove are some clips. This one is to just give you a little bit more room. So you'll pull this tab back towards you and lift it up. It doesn't squeeze in, so don't try to squeeze it in because it won't let go of it. Now the next one is on the back side of the breather. Down here you can't see it. You will be able to access it underneath the intercooler. Now it is a squeeze-in clip. It squeezes in, well, all four ways, which I'll show you in a B-roll right now, this clip and how it comes off the part. We do have another area on the breather, on the new breather for this clip. Anyway, I'll show you the underneath here. Tools that you will need for this job is a flat blade screwdriver that's considerably long and large, and a pair of pointies. Now you can use a pair of pointies that have got a 45-degree bend in them. It does help because you're coming up underneath the clip to squeeze it, and then the screwdriver is coming on top of the clip and it's creating the lift that you need to remove the clip out of it. So pliers are for the bottom of it, screwdriver's for the top, and you'll go in on top, anywhere on top of that plastic that you'll see. Okay, and that's popped. So as you can see, it's off. First thing you're gonna do is take this hose off. Once you take the hose off, take the clip off as well too, because you don't want that just dangling there. There's a chance that that could go down into that hole, so we remove it out of the equation. The next tool that you're gonna need is a ratchet or a 10mm socket. Now you can go either quarter or 3/8 drive, it doesn't really matter which you use. You're gonna pull these bolts out, whether you use pointy nose pliers or you can get your fingers down in there and you don't have huge hands like me, you'll be able to get down in there. I am going to use a pair of pointies to get the bolts out. So first one you're going to undo is the top one, second bolt. And the important one, this is where the engine becomes exposed, so you have to be super careful, and that's the last one right there. All right guys, as you can see, this is literally your timing cover. So there's a lot of sprockets and chains, and if you drop anything down into there, and you start your motor up knowing that there's something in there, I can guarantee you'll be rebuilding your motor. Okay, so as you get the kit, they'll all be in the plastic bag here, all your bolts and all your orb fittings and your AN fittings. First thing we're gonna do is disassemble the breather, and you'll start by putting this orb fitting in place. That's it, and then you'll do it up, and as you can see, done up real tight. You can do that with a shifter. That's done, that's completed. You'll pull the rest of the catch can apart, center section will come out, the foam will go in between those two pieces. I'll get into that in a second. And as you'll see, there's a plate with 2 bolts holding that plate in there for the oil flick. So that's pretty much ready to throw in the car as is. And yeah, we'll go over to the car and we'll install this so you guys can see it all. Now, the first thing we're gonna do is attach the electrical clip that you can see on the end of that connection there. We're going to push that through and secure that line before we do anything else. Okay. And that's in, guys. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to reinstall the bolts in reverse order, guys, as the bolts come off. I'm going to use a T-bar Allen key. 4mm is what you're going to need for these bolts. That's one. Second one's getting dropped in. Nice and tight on the last one. All right, so your base plate goes in. So make sure it goes in the right way, guys, so the little cutouts on the base plate will go towards you, not the smooth edge. Goes down like that. Then your foam and your top piece goes down and in, and it'll go down like so. Just tuck everything in, out of the way. You can let that up. I was just showing you that so that when you push down on this, that it actually goes home. So tuck it in on all 4 sides. That's it, guys. That's how it goes down and on. Put your finger there, grab a bolt, grab your Allen key whilst you still got pressure on there, guys, and do one down so it at least holds it. Do the opposite side, and then we'll come back to the front and we'll tighten them down. So not tight, don't do it down firm again. You wanna have it just that little bit loose so you can locate the other threads without binding on them. Now we'll move forward onto the 90-degree barb fitting. And you may need to shorten your standard factory hose, but we'll get into that. So you can mark it with the Nikko if you want, or you just put your thumb there and have at it. Now, if you don't have a flash set of cutters like I do, that's all right. You can do it with whatever cuts the line. There we go. Now, if you have our intake, I would recommend loosening off that AM fitting, making them both loose so you've got movement both ways. So you'll cut it off like you see me do, push it all the way on, move your clamp up, and that is it. You will tighten down your top AM fitting, and you will tighten down your bottom AM. Or if you have factory, then that's cool. That'll move around where you need it to move around. But that is it. That's our breather install. So now you can go back and start doing this job yourself because you've watched it all the way through like you should have the first time. You will have service intervals on that foam. We recommend 10,000 kilometers. And that's it. That's our breather install. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the things you got to do so we can keep making cool products like this.